My fellow traders, hope everybody's having a great weekend. I am glad that you guys chose to come hang out with me for another Sunday morning drive. We had a pretty decent week in the market this week. It really didn't get decent until the end of the week. We had a nice breaking news trade on Tesla that we used the same strategy that we just covered in class 2 weeks ago. The breaking news trade. I wish I could have got it in my small account, but since we were I didn't get to take any swing trades this past week, I just went ahead and did it in my swing account, and it turned out to be an awesome trade. Really, for Thursday and Friday, we were able to lock up just over $6 grand. So I'll recap those trades here after we do this video. But I'm really more proud of what I'm doing with my small account. I'm not forcing trades anymore. I am not having these unrealistic expectations, just because everybody's watching me and I'm trying to prove a point. I had the wrong mentality. It's not about proving a point. It's about trading. It's about showing how you have to develop these skills in order to make it. And I'm proud of the patience that I'm showing, and I'm giving you really what you should be doing. Just because the market is open doesn't mean you have to take trades every day. You wait till the market comes to you. If you do that, you're going to give away less money, and you have the potential to make more money. And this week should have proved it to you guys. Just waiting, and when the market opened up, we pounced. And it works with big account, small account, any accounts. So I'll recap that here at the end of this video. But today, this is my fourth quarter message. You know how coaches in the fourth quarter, they give their teams their speech, because everything is going to depend on how we finish. How we finish is the momentum that's going to carry us over into the next year. How we finish could determine the future, could determine our trading future. So it's very, very important. The first 3 quarters are gone. We can't get those back. We can't change what happened. But it's not too late to change the results for the end of the year. We don't have to accept what happened the first 3 quarters as our reality for this year. And most of us may not have achieved the goals that we set. We may be downright upset with our performance. I know I am, in terms of a small account. I'm very disappointed in my performance and the decisions that I made. But I don't have to live with that as my reality for the year. I've already made a change. I started 2 weeks ago. But if you haven't made that change yet, now's the time. But you have to accept the fact that what you were doing and how you were executing was wrong. And if you refuse to change and you refuse to accept that reality, then you're going to continue to go down that same path. Well, I take that back. You're going to continue perfecting losing. Okay, you're going to get better at losing, because the more you do something, the better you get at it. So the more you practice your losing ways, the better you're going to get at it. And I was a prime example of that. The more I traded wrong, the better I got at trading wrong. It just seemed more natural. And you've got to change that. So you've got to be willing to change that going into the fourth quarter. Now, I've got some, you know, a couple of strategies that we can use that can help us focus and change, you know, going into the next quarter. So, you know, the first thing is we've got to get serious. Now, I'm not saying we weren't serious before, but we got to get damn serious. You know, time is running out on this year. Yeah, we still have time, but time is short. You know, we went from having 12 months, now we've got 3 months. Now we don't want to like force it too much and start doing silly things. We need to just clean up our trading and take what the market gives us, you know, these next couple of months. And if we can do that, and we can show progress, and we can show consistency, we're going to hit the ground running January 1st next year. And we have a real good chance of having the best year that we've ever had trading. You know, that's my goal for next year. You know, I'm looking forward to next year, but it's all going to start with how I finish this quarter. So the first thing we want to do is we got to get serious, because our future, our family's future, our future in trading can depend on these next 3 months. So don't just get serious, get damn serious, because the time, you know, is now. We've got to refuse to quit. Okay, we've got to refuse to quit. We can't quit. You know, every comeback and great achievement has been the results of us choosing not to quit. You know, that's what it's all about, is making that choice. Accept our mistakes, accept our shortcomings, you know, and refuse to let them to define us. We need to realize our strengths, realize the potential, and use that to lift us up and to overcome, you know, anything that we've done, any holes that we've dug for ourselves in the first 3 quarters. You know, we don't have to accept that as our reality. We can grow out of that. We can develop ourselves into what we need to be, but we got to put in that work. Okay, next we got to ask ourselves these questions. Or, you know, we either have to do things differently or do different things. You know, finishing this fourth quarter is going to require some extraordinary execution skills. Now, before, we haven't been executing right. You know, if we sit here and try to execute with the same mentality, the same mindset, we're gonna keep getting same results. So you've got to ask yourself this question, these 2 questions. Do I do things differently, or do I do different things? And if you have trouble answering, that's when mentors come in. You know, that's when your mentor comes into play. That's when you get with somebody and say, hey, look, this is what I've been doing, and it hasn't been working. So should I do different things, or should I do these things a little bit differently? And that's what matters. That's the thought process that you've got to have. And so last but not least, you've got to be relentless in how you approach your fourth quarter. You got to be relentless in applying the principles and making that change. You know, because if you're not, it's not going to happen for you. You know, if you're truly committed and serious about, you know, turning your trading career around, your trading life around, then that's what you're gonna have to do, guys. You're gonna have to put forth that effort. You know, it's our responsibility. It's your responsibility to develop that mindset that you're gonna need. It's nobody else's. We can't put it on anybody else. We can't put the blame on anybody else. But more importantly, and I want you guys that if you're not part of us, if you're not part of Average Joe Trading, and you're trying to find your way, you know, I want you guys to join us this quarter. I want you guys to come in and see what we do live. And I'm going to, you know, stream my morning session every Wednesday so you guys can see what it's really like. You could come in, see what it's like, see if it's what's going to benefit you. And, you know, you have free access to all the classes that we do, all of the live webinars and things that we do every week. You know, everything that you need to make it. You know, you get all of the support. But before you make that decision, you know, I want you to understand, you know, this. You have to realize that every day you're gonna have to have extraordinary dedication, discipline, commitment, perseverance. You got to exhibit personal accountability and execute with conviction every single day. You can't take a day off. There's no days off. And it doesn't matter whether you take a trade or not. Because if the market is not there and you do what you're supposed to do, you don't take trades. You wait until it comes to you. So just think about those things. You know, this is the fourth quarter. This is the time that we can turn our year around. Okay, we may not make back all the money that we lost, and we shouldn't be trying to do that. You know, it's just like teams that really have no chance of winning, that's so far behind, and they have no chance of winning, but they can establish a base for the next game. They can establish that winning attitude. So we go out and win the fourth quarter. We finish it strong. And we're going to have something to carry over into what we do next year. That's what this is about. You know, I stream my platform live every day. So you guys can see, you'll see if I take trades. You're going to hear me say, I don't think this market is conducive to taking trades. You know, some guys listen, some guys don't. You know, some of you may have different strategies. That's fine. But what you have to understand is that, you know, I'm going to do what and utilize the skills and the strategies and the mindset that made me successful, that's got me to where I am today. And my goal is to show you every day and demonstrate to you so that you have a live, living model of what success is going to look like. And, you know, losing the right way is modeling success. You know, sticking to your stops, managing your risk, you know, admitting when you make a mistake and what you need to do to correct it. All of these things are what true mentors do when they're trying to teach and help you get to the next level. And that's what this is all about for me. So, you know, I'm going to sign off here. Like I said, I'm going to recap my trades here when I get back and add it to this video. But you guys have a great week, a great start to the week. And, you know, and I'm serious. If you guys come spend a quarter with me, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do what I've been doing the last couple of months. You know, if you sign up for a quarter, I'm going to give you another quarter free. So for a quarter, you're going to get 6 months. So you don't have to rush. You come spend the fourth quarter with me and you get the first quarter free. So we're going to build our momentum going into the first quarter, and then we're going to carry it over and start the year off strong. So you guys that want to join me for the fourth quarter, you're going to get the first quarter free. So hope to see you guys in the community, and I will catch you guys first thing in the morning. All right, guys, I know I recapped this trade on Thursday last week, but what I want to reiterate here is the strategy. And this is the breaking news strategy that we covered in the day trading class a couple weeks ago. And you know what we did was we waited for that first 5-minute candle to print. Now, unless you get pay all this money for this news service that can give you news early, which a lot of times you still don't get it early enough to catch it. But you'll be on the backside of this. And by the time you see it or hear it or catch it, you're going to chase it. And I don't like to get into chasing. But what happens is you do get people chasing, and it's going to hit a point where people start to take profit. And it's going to start to bounce. And this is what we see here. And what I usually like to do is wait for this first candle to run its course. And then I look to see when this candle opens, are we going to continue the momentum up with the profit taking? And if we do, typically it'll recover half this first candle. If not, if it's still weak and we still have a lot of selling pressure, then I'm going to jump in then. Because, you know, it's proven to me that I'm not chasing. We still have the weakness, and we should get a bigger move down. Now, what happened in this case is what happens all the time when we get in trades. It'll start to work, and then it starts not to work, and it can throw us off. Now, there were a lot of people that got shaken out on this. They jumped in. As it started to bounce, they went ahead and took it off and left it alone. But this is what happens. It's what market makers do. This is how they catch people. You know, if you're not, I'm sure in your conviction, a little move like this is going to take you out. So what I like to do is wait. If this candle is coming back, wait for it to close and then confirm that we're moving higher. If it doesn't close and confirm, this trade is still in play. And that's exactly what happened here. And we ended up selling off, and I was able to catch profit at my targets. 282 was my first one. I got it at 282.25, and then the other two was going to be at 275 and then 270. And you can see I hit those. I gave it a 10-cent offset so that if it dipped through it, I could catch the 10 cents, and that's exactly what happened. So that worked out perfect. But you can see it did sell off for another 3-4 points after I got out. But the key here is to catch the meat of the move. You don't want to try to top tick these and bottom tick these. That's when you lose money. And you get frustrated and you start really making mistakes. So all we try to do is catch the meat of the move. And we're trading the emotional aspect of it. You know, as day traders, that's what we trade, human emotion. You know, a lot of people say trade without emotion. You need to eliminate emotion from trading. If we do that, every stock we look at is going to trade just like we see right in through here. That's all it'll do, is just trade sideways. It's human emotion that makes these big moves possible. When the retail traders leave and you just have the computers trading against each other, that's all you're going to see. So we need this emotion, and sometimes we just have to sit back and wait so that we can capitalize and take advantage of it. Now on Friday, we had Facebook, and this is what upset me Friday, because all they needed to do was wait 10 minutes to release this news. And they didn't. They released it right toward the end of lunch before I got back. And so I saw it before I got back from lunch. But before I could get down and get to my computer, we were already well into this move. And so I wasn't going to chase this down. And had I chased this, it might not have ended well for me anyway. I wouldn't have made any money on this period. So I didn't chase this down. I did get a piece of this later on in the day because I wanted to hold this over the weekend. I think we're going to take another hit going into next week. So I wanted to be positioned in case we got a gap down. I can add to it if I need to. So, I'm in position there. But I did not take the breaking news setup because I was late. And I am determined not to make all these mistakes I made this summer in terms of trying to force things and make things happen. If we have to sit 2 days and wait, then that's what we have to do. And you see this week, by me waiting, I didn't take any swing trades Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It was going to be a slow week, and then we got this breaking news, and I was free to take advantage of it. And on Friday, here's where I got in Tesla again. Now, this thing fooled me a little bit on Friday, but I was already prepared mentally in case it did try to go away from me, early. This is what Tesla does. This is its MO pretty much. But it was selling off. We tried to push up, and I waited. I saw this crazy candle get put in, so I felt comfortable getting short here once we got below all of this support and this level here. So I was able to get in, and sure enough, it did just what Tesla does. It bounced and it ran up. So I kind of held through this. We pulled back. Now, had we made a higher high on this bounce, I would have taken it off and just taken the hit. But it didn't. We pulled back, and it kind of hung around again. And then at lunch, I was looking at it, and it started pushing up. So had it made a higher high relative to this, the deal would have been done. I would have had to taken it off. But it didn't. It made a lower low. Here on this bounce, a lower high. Here on this bounce, it made a lower high. So once I saw that, I felt pretty good about it, selling off into the close. And we did get a really nice sell-off. Hit my first target here around 265, but it did not sell off. The next target I had was around 260, and then I was looking to get into the, mid-high 250s, but it just didn't complete it. It kind of caught and got bought up into the close. I didn't want to hold this overnight. This is not a stock that over the weekend. It's not a stock that I feel comfortable holding over the weekend. So just by waiting, letting the market come to me, we finished the week just over $6,000 on Tesla. Thursday was a big day with the breaking news play. Here was a continuation. It didn't give me everything I wanted. Now, had I taken profit down here, this would have been really nice. But, I was waiting for that bigger move that didn't happen. But just being patient and allowing it to come to you. Now, if I had given half of this back early trying to make things happen earlier in the week, then I wouldn't have had that good of a week. I'd have been happy to be green, but I wouldn't have been happy with forcing trades and trying to, make something happen that wasn't there. So our goal going into the fourth quarter is we're going to be finishing strong. We definitely want to finish strong, but we're going to, as I said before, we're going to get serious. We're going to make it happen. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to take what the market gives me, stick to the rules, be relentless. And we've got to develop that spirit that's going to prevent us from letting fear of missing out take over, trying to make all the money back that we might have left on the table through the first 3 quarters. All of that's done. Now we need to focus on finishing this quarter strong so that we can start the year out with that momentum. So it doesn't matter whether we win the year or not. It doesn't matter. What matters now is that we finish the fourth quarter strong, that we win the fourth quarter and take that momentum into the first quarter of next year, because we want to make next year the best year. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I will see you guys first thing Monday morning.